right, guys, welcome to the Guest Perception Podcast. I'm super excited to be back. It's been a long time. Amanda Hansen, and we're actually going to bring in our creative director, Lucho, today. And we're going to be, we were talking about it before, we're going to be kind of talking about various topics, but I think it's going to be super interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. So, yeah, it's been a while. We are, switching some things up. And I think from now on, we are going to be airing live on Sundays and potentially filming on Sundays and maybe a couple days during the week and then airing those for Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday seems like a better day, a little bit more chill, people at home, more available to watch the podcast, listen.
Yeah. So, couple things going on in the world right now. There's lots of...
The world is on fire.
Yeah. Lots of fires going on in our province. For those listeners that are not from Vancouver, BC, Canada, we are from Vancouver, BC.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fires in the province going on right now that are affecting many, many people.
Many lives.
And lives.
Communities are, we saw this over the last couple years with the Lytton fires that have never been rebuilt. And apparently they are on fire again. We are in a state of emergency again with these fires.
I feel like my state of emergency never changes, though. Like, I'm always in a state of emergency.
Really?
I think my family's part of that, too. They're always, when they see me around, it's just like a state of emergency.
I don't know. I think my family might be like that, too. They're probably like, oh, my God.
Craig's here. State of emergency, guys.
Actually, that would be pretty true for my family as well. Whenever I go home, it's always a state of emergency. It's like, okay, I'm home. I am destitute emotionally, Thankfully, I'm smart enough. I haven't got there financially in a long time. Fuck.
Yeah,
a long time.
In a long time. I bounce around like these people that just have this constant trajectory upward, right? And I've just never been one of those people. I'm kind of like, I go up, I go down, and I find that I kind of plateaued. I'm a little tingy motherfucker. What's up?
Yeah, where mics are too high.
Yeah. So anyhow, I was actually discussing that, that up and down with a friend the other day, how it's interesting how some people just have this constant kind of upward. And then there's these people that plateau, they could stay there. I'm not going to, by the way. I'm about to ricochet off my plateau.
I felt that this morning.
But, I've had to kind of ground myself and like stay in that for a while. But then there's other people that just, they go here and then, this is like the fork in the road of like, which way do you want to go?
Yeah.
Do you want to take the easy path or do you want to take the road less traveled and maybe get someplace a little bit more peaceful, less populated?
Well, I think it's fascinating you say that because I believe that, even if you take that path, right, there's going to be no regret, right? At the end of it, you're going to be like, hey, you know what? I tried, and it didn't work out, but I tried.
Well, like in my situation, it's like, how can I even be like, it didn't work out? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the things in life that, is there such a thing of things not working out? You know what I mean? Like
in your mind.
Well, in reality, but what is that? Why is it like in your mind? Is that your ego like putting a definition on an outcome?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's ego,
Yeah.
because like really, like it should just kind of be like, we have to just kind of adjust with what's happening.
Yeah.
And, some people just, they get to that fork in the road and they have to level up and they don't want to. And then, they just end up regressing and, who knows where that will end. Hopefully they'll go through enough pain that they decide to like, man up or woman up and go through the suffering to kind of get to the good to the other side.
Yeah.
But anyhow, a little bit off topic but we were talking about fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well,
you came in fire, and I got a little fiery.
Yeah, you came in super fiery. Actually, you came in very fiery, and you were very passionate about this fire topic. So I kind of want to open that up a little bit and kind of see, because with me, I don't watch the news very much. I don't watch really anything. I'm always trying to read and trying to learn, but I do know that there is a lot of fires going on. Mm-hmm. But in your perspective, like what got you so fiery?
Well, I think I am just naturally, I'm a Leo. I'm a fire sign. I'm a fiery individual in general. And then just to have the awareness that I have allowed in just by kind of, breaking down the systems that, were kind of in my head, I was able to, kind of see things a little bit more clearly with, our governments and stuff like that. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of corruption in our world right now. I'm not going to say that, these fires in Maui were started by the DEW, what does that stand for? The direct energy weapon, but that is what people in Lahaina are saying. There is video of a power line that went down, and they are trying to say that power line started the entire fire. I would love to see a satellite video of that, in fact. And why is there no satellite videos being, put out there right now? Because we got them. We're always being watched. So why isn't there a satellite video that's been put out to show how the fire spread? There isn't one. They haven't put one out. Why?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of whys.
Why? Why did Lahaina have a circle? Did you see this?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't follow too much of what happened in Maui, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can speak too deep to it. I don't know.
Well,
Lucho.
That's okay. Yeah, and Lucho maybe has some questions, and you may have some questions. I was on the phone. My dishwasher isn't working, and I was talking to my a plumber, and I sent him photos of my dishwasher, who apparently my ex, who's a plumber, he installed it completely wrong, and no big fucking surprise there. Anyhow, completely installed wrong, and he was in Maui, so he was giving me like directions how to fix it, like over the phone. And then I'm like, well, where the fuck did the guy go? And I guess, Maui's on fire. So, he had other shit to deal with, obviously, jump in an ocean and try and save himself, I'm sure.
Jeez.
So they cut off both roads. So there's, I think it's Highway 30 or something that goes into Lahaina and out. Mm-hmm. And it's like one road. Mm-hmm. And there's police on both ends not allowing anybody to exit. And then the few people
to exit. So you can't leave. So if you're in the fire, you can't leave.
You couldn't leave. Go
back. That sounds really weird. Okay, just from like a common sense perspective, that sounds weird. Why couldn't I leave? Like, there's a fire. I need to leave. Like, I gotta go. Sorry, guys. It's like, a house being on fire and somebody telling you can't leave your house. Well, I gotta leave my house. It's on fire.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. So they didn't want you to leave the area, but they wanted you to leave your house. So the people who stayed with water hoses trying to fight back the fire, they did that until they turned off the water. And then those people were reprimanded by the mayor for staying to protect their family home.
So I was actually, it's interesting that you mentioned this, because I was actually reading about the Lake Country fires in Kelowna, And I seen a post that was posted on Facebook that said from the district, and I don't know if it was true or not, it was a screenshot, but it said, please, residents, turn your sprinklers off to give more to give more water pressure to the firefighters. So I don't know if that could be a contributing factor, but you know, at the end of the day, how much pressure does it really take off the system? You know what I mean? Because I kind of see in that perspective that
Yeah, but isn't there like adapters? Like these are freaking firefighters. You can't tell me that they don't have. I have a freaking adapter for my garden hose that creates pressure. Why don't they have that? They have that, Craig. They have that. It's all a bunch of bullshit. We also have the most dramatic water restrictions. Our province is on fire and they don't want us to water anything.
Yeah.
Guess what? Eat my ass. I am watering my lawn. I am watering my plants. I'm putting my sprinkler on. Hell, I'm going to buy like 10 pools from Walmart and I'm going to fill every fucking one of them and put them all around my fucking house.
Pool party.
Pool party. Pool party. You know, it's just like this is ridiculous. They don't want you to use any water and yet we're on fire.
Yeah. I mean, looking at that as a common sense perspective as well, it doesn't if there's a fire, put water on it. But then again, you know, okay, so look at these electric vehicles. Okay, so here's another perfect example. Teslas, I have an electric vehicle as well. If you put water on that fucking thing, it's not going to put out the fire. Right? So, I mean, I guess depending on the fire and what it is and the substance and the chemicals that are burning, right? Sometimes water is not the best solution.
True.
So there's many, you know, again, and
but you got to remember, this is an organic fire. Organic.
Lucho, what do you think? We're kind of going back and forth here.
Yeah, weigh in on this.
We need somebody to. You're either going to pick Amanda's side or my side. So.
Oh, I have to.
You don't have to pick a side, but let's just hear your.
Yeah, kind of. We hear your feedback on this.
I think there is a bad management of how we use the water.
Yeah.
I think gray water has to be recycled in a different way. So why would you need completely clean water to water your lawn, for example, or to wash cars?
Recycled water, yeah.
So we should have water that be treated for general use and water to be treated for human consumption.
Is there any countries that already do this?
No, not to my knowledge.
So guys, you just heard business opportunity. Recycle some water.
Like, I mean, it will require an infrastructure that is different from sewage water to actual, like, I don't know, some recycled water that you get from maybe the shower or the sink, something like that, that differs from what you get from the toilet. But I think that's a good way to manage water, because there is a shortage of water, but you can still have the car washings open, right? Like stuff like that. Like, you know, you clean. I remember when I moved to Canada, it was the first time that I saw that people use pressure washer to clean buildings.
Okay.
You're like, what the hell is that?
Why is like people complain so much about wasting water, but you wash your sidewalks with a pressure washer? How much water you're wasting there? And it's clean water. Like, what would you need to clean the?
Yeah. Like, why is it they're not a gray water?
Yeah. Why would you use clean water for that?
Well, 3 months, it looks the same as when you just cleaned it. So what's the point?
Yeah. No, it is fascinating. And being in BC, it's a little hard to really wrap my head around the fact that we don't have enough water.
Exactly.
You know, like, I'm sorry, but like, what fucking Kool-Aid are you guys drinking?
Yeah. Like
we have so much water. Like, it pours here.
Yeah, I mean, California doesn't have water. Texas doesn't have water. But BC, especially when you have concession for, like, Nestle, for example, that come take the water, bottle it, and then sell it back to you. Like that's a little bit retarded too.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do that?
Yeah.
Sell the water back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally like I seen some of the advertisements that say like, oh, like this bottled water, it comes from a natural source, and like all water comes from a natural source.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just special water.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all the same.
I know. It's funny. Now that we're talking about water, I wish that we had Krista here because she's like, she's all into the water, and we'll have to have her back again
she's gonna come
soon.
back for sure.
Yeah, because I'd love to get her in on this, and yeah. So back to the fires. So what are your thoughts on the fires going on?
The only thing that I read, it was that all the measurements, like alarms and that kind of stuff, was not activated. So people complain like, if we have built this technology that at least give you some heads up, why it didn't work?
Yeah, and they test it once a month.
Yeah.
So it's tested and ran every single month, except the month.
Actually,
okay, and here's the other really. Okay, I'm gonna get dark here. Okay.
Oh, geez.
I'm gonna get dark here.
Now you're speaking Lucho's language.
So this particular day, they canceled school.
Okay.
Why? Why was school canceled?
But it wasn't. Oh, it started on Friday. The fire started on Friday. I know we're talking about Kelowna. We're talking about Maui.
Okay, Maui.
Okay.
So
Maui.
they
Then I don't know
pre-canceled the
which day.
school before the fire started.
Yeah. So the schools were canceled that day. The kids didn't go to school. The alarms that go off every single month as a tester don't go off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to know, why was school canceled? And why didn't they set off the alarms? Why did they cut off the water? Why did they not allow the highway open for residents to exit? With it being the biggest military base
From the U.S.
in the United States, there was no boat. There was no evacuation strategy. This, I am sorry to say it, but this is just another government takeover of indigenous land to rob it from their people. And it looks like that. I'm sorry.
Well, because they're saying like a lot of few millionaires, they bought lands, and that was the way to claim the land to get possession to it.
Well, the government states, even in Canada, okay, that if there is a disaster, so for instance, those trains in the States that created all those chemical, that they blew up. If there is any natural disaster, the government has the right, because we're on Crown land, to take away the property because it's a hazard. And you're up shit creek. They could maybe give you some money. I'm sure, like when they're trying to buy your land for a highway or whatever, they'll give you the value. But this is in an area where, are they going to give them, match the value of what their property was worth in Lahaina? Are they going to give them $17 million, or $18 million for your piece of land?
No way.
They're not going to do that. The other thing, I'm sorry that I'm caught on this, but it's just because everything's very obvious in Lahaina right now, and I want to start at Lahaina and kind of pull it over to BC because it's a smaller geographic kind of picture. And so basically they set this all up, and these people now, they don't have the right to necessarily, because the law states that the government can take over their land. But what was the other thing? The people have, oh God, it'll come to me, but there's something else about the land that the people, it's like gone.
Well, there's one thing for sure, is that the government does not have our best interests. whatsoever. I mean, you look at, I just to kind of step back and look at the overall picture, and not really relating to the fires, which we'll obviously step back into, but I mean, you look at
I remember
the school system and everything, and I mean, it's meant to pump out employees. What do employees do? Pay the government, pay taxes. Government doesn't want. It's hard to get. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to get a loan or get something from the bank. Government wants 5-6 years of financial statements before the bank will even consider. Why is that? Because you're not a T4 employee. You're not funding the government.
Yeah.
The banks work with the government. The government works for the banks.
Yeah.
It's just it's all a government thing. Like there's no.
It's corruption.
And this is where I get super frustrated. But anyway, step back into the fire situation. But I get really I have lots of stuff to say about that.
I'm sorry, but I remembered my thing.
Please. Yeah, we were on that topic.
I remember.
No, go for it.
Okay, so the other odd thing about Lahaina was that the mayor of Lahaina, they increased their disaster fund from $3 million. Can we guess what they increased their disaster fund to?
6.
Well, that's the
10?
most.
10?
6 is the most that they've ever done. Well, not 6.
I'm guessing.
The most they've ever done in any, I guess, state has been that they've doubled it. So 6 would have been a really good guess. $40 million.
40.
What?
$40 million.
From 3 to 40?
In March of 2023.
Holy shit. Okay, I don't.
Also,
I'm just completely believing you.
Yeah,
I've never even looked at this. I don't even know.
I can show you it all after. There's like press conferences.
That's crazy.
Okay, but also before the fire, it was discussed in the prior years that this would be a smart city.
Oh yeah.
It was going to be a smart city.
Smart city, yeah. They're going to redo the whole infrastructure of the island, so everything is going to be powered by solar, and so everything is going to be smart.
Whoa!
Like that kind of a Tesla house.
Yeah. Hey, it all sounds good. I have a friend. She is a very intelligent person, and she seems to be like okay with the smart cities. Well, everyone's just together. You got everything that you need, and I understand that conceptually, right? Because as we have been in the past, we've been, groups. We've been more
united.
So I like the idea of how they're structuring the play of these 15-minute cities.
Yeah,
it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. But what happens if you want to leave the city? You're not allowed necessarily if they decide that you're not allowed. There was a time during COVID lockdown that I don't know if you guys remember this, but we weren't allowed to leave our area. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, yeah.
And I can remember I was hiking out by IKEA with my friend.
There's hiking in IKEA?
Yeah, like somewhere kind of over there, there's like a mountain, and, we went up and hiked the mountain. But I remember her and I, kind of discussing things, and we said something about like Langley or North Van, and I remember these like women passing us being like, like they knew, like
you're bringing the virus to me.
Well,
oh my God!
Like you're out of your area, and I thought to myself, like that was just like a glimmer. Like it's almost like we forgot, right? Like we forgot that literally in Canada, which used to be the best place in the world to live, you could do anything here. We were so free, right?
You're talking about Switzerland?
No.
Sweden?
No,
Norway?
well, okay, well, the North American.
Okay, you're talking about this side of the ocean.
Yeah, the North American beauty of, Canada, BC. Anyhow, this place we're on fire right now, and I am
on fire.
I'm on fire about the fire. So basically, that's Maui. Okay, that's Maui. One other thing. Okay, one other thing. I'm just gonna get into it.
Go for it.
Mountain Dew. Who doesn't love Mountain Dew?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't drink.
I can't remember the last time I drank it, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you
I think
love Mountain Dew.
I like Mountain Dew. I do. I like Mountain Dew. I remember when Mountain Dew made the Maui Burst. And the Maui Burst was the best because it was pineapple Mountain Dew, and it had these like angry little pineapples on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I thought to myself just the other day, because this is how my information comes into me. I don't like watch the news or anything either. But
don't you dare.
No, I don't. I don't. Unfortunately, I'm like, things just kind of like come through, and then I have to look it up, and I'm like, could this be fucking real? You know? And I look it up, and I'm like, who owns Mountain Dew? And it's Pepsi. Who owns Pepsi? Well, you know, two major shareholders. It's Vanguard and BlackRock.
Yeah.
Oh, BlackRock.
Okay, so I got something to say about this. Pepsi and Coke, basically, from what I understand, is that they sell the sugar.
Yep.
That's it. That's the only reason why they do what they do is because they sell
sugar.
The syrup.
Okay.
That's it. Like, there's nothing else to Coke and Pepsi but the syrup.
Right.
The syrup.
Like, there's no other involvement. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I had to say that. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. So that's their thing.
Yeah.
Syrup. That's their, of course, it's a syrup. You add it to the water. That is their commodity. That is their oil. That's their
simple, though. Simple.
Well, everything is ultimately, you know, broken down to really simple, like, what do we like?
So why do we overcomplicate things then?
Well, because we're in the matrix.
We're humans.
Yeah, and we're in this system that if we actually tapped into our own, you know, true powers, the government would be fucked, you know? Like, as I have defragged over these last few years, okay? So I was all over the place. And then as these fragments of myself started coming back together, you know, you get this awareness and you get this kind of confidence in yourself that slowly starts to come back.
Is it the same kind of awareness that you get when you like get like a dick pic sent to you from like, you know, a dating site or something? Because I know, like,
we went straight to the dick
I
pic.
don't know what we were talking about this like pre being live, and I thought it would be super funny, and like, as soon as we mentioned it, I'm like, and it was actually pretty heavy with the fires and stuff, right? And we're gonna go back.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna break it up with some dick.
So yeah, I think we should. I think we should end it with with the dick pics.
No, we're not ending it with the dick. No. We got to.
So Pepsi, yes, is owned by Vanguard and BlackRock.
And Vanguard and BlackRock, yeah. And so back just to the Mountain Dew thing, and we'll get back to the fucking dick. Always to the dick. So the Mountain Dew. So it's owned by Vanguard and BlackRock, and Dew stands for the detonated energy weapon. Okay, and it just happens to be owned by the deadliest motherfuckers on our planet, and it's kind of like a joke. Like, you know what? If I was one of these assholes and I was on that dark side, like Darth Vader, you know, kind of world, like they just sit there and honestly at a fucking table and they're like, how are we going to kill all these fuckers? You know, like honestly.
Whoa.
Well, it's public knowledge that Bill Gates talks openly about our planet being overpopulated and that somehow this is not connecting for people, that the man who talks about the overpopulation of our planet creates medication, vaccines, whatever, that ultimately they say save lives, but had how many deaths and how many side effects.
I love how much research you've put into this. Like it's so fascinating that like because me I wouldn't be able to like chase that like all the way through like
I got a lot of fucking time on my hands, man. I'm single and
I just love how you bring
with
that.
the dark side of the
the
internet.
No, but like that is super fascinating because they're real topics and it's super I love how you bring that to this experience. I really do.
But it's weird because like a lot of the times like this is why I'm not a good person necessarily to speak on political issues is because I'm not an analytical thinker, right? I come from a very embodied place. I didn't know that that's where things were coming from before, but now that I'm making that connection, it's like my information comes from the universe through to me, and then I go, fuck, that's crazy. No, that can't be real, and then I get on my phone and I start researching, and that's how it always happens.
Well, I think there's like a practical perspective and a common sense perspective that you need to apply when you look at the various situations, right? And a lot of people don't apply that. A lot of people just, the news is telling me this, and this is what it is. But there's no common sense added to that. There's no
common sense. Like right now, what's the thing about organs? Like, so if I needed an organ, being an unvaccinated person, first of all, I don't want your fucking vaccinated organs. You can keep your fucking vaccinated organs. I would rather fucking die a slow death. And, but I'm not allowed. I don't want your vaccinated fucking shit anyhow, but like I'm not allowed. So vaccinated people.
It's so nice to see you again.
You can have my heart, but I can't have yours. Like you couldn't save my life.
It's been a while.
Guess who's the real asshole? Thanks.
Lucho.
Yeah. No, Lucho's not the real asshole.
I'm just kidding.
But isn't that bizarre? So we know that they're going to want our fucking organs. Jesus. God damn it. Okay. Yeah. That might come down the road. They'll be like, "Oh God, look it. We're gonna put all these."
So
what could these 15-minute cities? We'll just call them like organ donor fucking.
The donor city.
Yeah, organ donor cities. I don't know. No, because they're going to be vaccinated and unvaccinated mixed. Oh, they've upped that Lufarius lighting.
I don't know.
Is it Lufarius, that purple light?
Is that Chinese? I don't know what that means.
Lighting?
I don't know. The word
what is Lufarius? What is that?
The word fucking popped into my head. I don't know.
Well, Lufarius is the word that exists, but I don't know which light.
Okay, well let's look it up. What's Lufarius mean?
I love how we're doing this live. This is so cool.
So I happen to notice everything.
I'm so excited right now. I don't know why. I just got so excited.
So when I was going up the cut yesterday from the Lord's Moto Ranch, Tyler,
we'll see you soon.
Tyler, we'll see you soon. When I was coming up the cut from that, I happened to notice that the lights going up the cut in North Van were purple again.
Oh, those lights are. They're saying just because energy management. That's what they are changing. Some of the.
I'm not getting that.
Well, it's a different kind of lighting because the lighting that we use normally in the cities is regular cathode lighting. What's the name?
They're like they're not the LEDs.
No, it's like regular light bulbs, but those blue ones are LEDs.
Oh, okay.
They're LEDs.
I think
I'm
like
getting
me.
Something weird
Okay,
from those lights.
so me thinking as a DJ, I think they should put like sound activated dancing lights. I think that would be really cool. Like just like
as
just,
you're driving.
Yeah, as you're driving, just like strobe lights create a bunch of seizures for everybody.
Oh
like
my
God. Like just driving up the cut, you see just like party lights, Pitbull. You just go.
Yeah,
like
you see more and more of those purple lighting, but I think it's more about energy management, or that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so we're gonna make a note on that because I'm gonna call bullshit on the lighting. They're doing something. They're activating something.
Oh, and those ones were the ones that you think they are Lufarius?
I guess Lufarius. What is the definition of Lufarius?
Lufarius means something fancy.
Lufarious means fancy.
Fancy.
So you guys are talking about me? Fancy?
Okay, I don't even believe this.
Fancy, opulent.
Does it actually mean
Google.
fancy?
I don't believe this.
Okay.
Google. Fuck, I'm getting Google Home. Google. Come on, just be your normal self. Okay, so Lufarious.
Okay, we got two people looking what Lufarious means.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking nefarious.
Oh, okay, that's a different thing.
Nefarious. That's what it is. I've gotten my dyslexia.
Jesus.
In full. Okay. That was a dyslexic moment.
I was sweating there for a minute. I thought there was going to be some aggression.
So basically, wicked.
It's a
wicked,
criminal thing, yeah.
Wicked, something wicked. So Lufarious, I don't know why I'm associating that with a light, but maybe that is a type of light. Anyhow, there's something not right about it. First of all, as soon as you're driving, it's like hard on the eyes.
It is weird, yeah.
Like it can't be fucking right. I'm sorry, it's not right. And I'm gonna dig into this, and you're gonna find out next week why these lights are up and what they're doing. But they're activating something in the vaccinated people. That's what I'm getting. I know. You're gonna be like, take her off the fucking thing. She's crazy.
Weird. No, we're not taking you off. We're not taking me off, you off, Lucho. We're all
yeah,
here.
And I think it's good to have. I think it's good to have Lucho in the mix because in the past he wasn't. He was doing more of just the sound and the filming.
Well, people want to hear that
sexy
that
accent,
sensational voice.
And where are you from, Lucho? Argentina. Lucho's single too, and he's kind of sexy, ladies. He's a sexy Argentina.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
The single part, yes, but I don't know the rest of it.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
And Amanda's single too, so if anybody wants to send any dick pics and.
Oh yeah. Okay. So a brief thing. We were having this we'll break it up with the nefarious lighting and the dick pics. So we're having this conversation about maybe doing a podcast. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am pretty much the original.
The OG.
The OG of the dick pic. Like, I may have...
You have one dick pic from 1987.
I may have a stack.
1884.
I may have a stack of cock. A stack of cock in print. It was kind of like my drunk thing. That
Polaroids?
Pardon?
So you just saved it in like Google Drive or Google One or
Dude,
whatever?
if I was the original, we didn't have this.
Oh yeah,
shit.
there's no Google.
There's no Google.
So what was it, on a CD or something? Or
Oh, Craig, hello.
No.
Rewind, bro. It's a photo.
It's a photo printed.
It's a printed
photo.
Yeah.
Oh
Let
my
me
God.
tell you, the place on Commercial
Polaroid.
Drive. Do you guys? I don't know if anybody in Vancouver remembers the place on Commercial Drive that developed the photos, and you could see them go through the front.
I wasn't even born then.
Oh yeah, fuckers. I'm just young. I'm just old and hot for my age. But anyhow, this machine, they basically would run. They develop your photos, and then you could see them kind of go through like the front as they were done. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure they had a little talk with me about my photos. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sure that they had a little talk with me about my dick pics because I had a few back in the day. It was a drunk thing. So what we would do, me, and all the friends in my head, we would basically at night or whatever, whoever I'd end up with at the end of the night.
Whoever I'd end up with.
Yeah, it was a little.
Whoa.
Okay, it was my I was going to the fucking Ivanhoe. Okay, like let's lower the
Ivanhoe.
expectations here. Okay, like it was a low bottom. Okay, it was a low bottom. But whoever it would be, I would be like, I would try and get a dick pic, and I'd be like,
Can you send me a picture of your dick, please?
they don't send pictures.
can
There
send
is no
Jesus.
fucking phones.
You gotta take it.
Craig.
Look, what she's trying to say is that she used to do an inventory, of the all the prime elements of the mate that she has. So she have a classification of the pics. So the next time,
Like
she probably
veiny,
couldn't-
triumphant bastards, or like.
maybe she couldn't remember the guy, but then they'll look at the picture and say like, "Oh, you are subject A471."
Yeah.
So So would you remember? Would you always remember like as per dick?
I can remember every dick. Yeah.
So basically, there's like an identification mark, or there's like a pimple, or a zit, or like some sort of like.
I can't recognize a fucking hand, but I can recognize a dick.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
That should be.
But that's like only saying you can recognize somebody by their finger.
I can't recognize their finger. I can recognize a dick.
That should be a software recognition.
Yeah, maybe like an AI or something.
Okay, so the point of this dick pic talk was that we had discussed having somebody on and
to show their dick.
No, and doing some ratings, some dick pic ratings.
Dick pic ratings.
Because these guys are creative. I have to say, when they do this angle, like this one, this angle here, it looks enormous. It looks enormous. I'm like, no, I want to side with a ruler.
No, but they suck it in too, right? Like there's like, you know, like obviously you got like whatever. What do you even call this? Like
okay, I'm not getting those.
Fat, basically.
Craig, I'm not getting those dick pics.
Huh?
I'm not getting those ones.
What do you mean?
They don't need to suck it in. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. They're still ripped.
They're still ripped.
They're still ripped. It's still a dick on a six-pack.
A dick pack.
She still looks good.
It's still, it's a dick pack.
I see a dick pack.
It's the dick pack. Yeah. So anyhow, that was just an idea of something that we could do. We're trying to switch it up, right? So we want to have guests still, and we want to collaborate with other
podcasters,
and so we're going to do that. We're going to have more group conversations like this on hot topics.
I think that's what we're talking, right? Like just to make something that is a little bit more entertainment, because there is a lot of podcasts that focus on education, and while we wanted to try to bring some knowledge, we also want to bring up the entertainment.
Yeah.
So that was part of the dick pics and all that.
Yeah, the dick pics and keeping it light. Like honestly.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm very people love to make assumptions about me because I'm so open. But, like from this conversation, anybody who didn't know me would probably think I was like, the biggest hoe.
Well, for me too as well. Like,
you think
no
people think that you are a hoe?
People probably think I'm a hoe too.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think there has to be that. And again, like Lucho was saying, the entertaining side, and then also the practical side, and it's also good to have an educational side too, right? Like just kind of a one-stop shop.
Where did you go with this? You totally went on a different. Where did you go?
I don't know. He was assuming that he's a hoe, and then
you went from hoe to So the hoe thing. So I don't think people assume that you are a hoe, but with me, how I talk, sometimes they think that this is like they'll make like a judgment of. She's like, she talks about this and that, but like in reality, like I'm just open about things and I want to talk about stuff and I want awareness to be there.
Yeah.
But, people make these assumptions about others that's like dead wrong.
Well, it's fascinating. These assumptions too can be, on past identity of living, of parents and childhood and all this kind of stuff.
Or like
right?
in my case, editing.
Yeah.
My case is editing.
Well, editing, perfect example. The Real Canadian Housewives. You were one of the housewives.
Canadian. What the fuck? We're the Real Canadian.
Real Canadian? Isn't that what I said?
That's what you said.
Yeah, the Real Canadian Housewives.
Nobody says that. That's not a thing.
Who says it?
Just
nobody.
Just you.
So what am I supposed to say?
Real Housewives of Vancouver.
Oh, Jesus Christ! The Real Housewives of Vancouver.
You just said Real Canadian.
Yeah.
So was not a real Canadian.
Oh, they're not.
It's not real Canadian. It's a Real Housewives.
Oh, it's a Real Housewives. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was.
Yeah, okay. I was almost there. I was getting close.
A new franchise option.
This tells you guys how much TV I watch.
Well, that's okay. TV is terrible. I get my news based off of my algorithm on,
Well, you cannot get news anymore on social media.
No, I don't. I get. Yes, it's new, right? We don't get actual news on our social media, but what I'm getting is better than news because it's not some asshole with a paycheck and a script telling me the story. It's people on the ground with their feet in areas saying what's happening, talking about, like, it's real people actually saying, hey, they shut off our water. Hey, they're trying to take our property. Because at the end of the day, I've said this multiple times, all of our media in Canada is owned by one company. You know, like it's all the same thing. And so it doesn't matter how many ways you hear it, unless it's an independent company, it's being paid for by the government. And people don't want to acknowledge what's really happening, because it's scary for some people. Like it is. Like, I think that there was a time I was so scared when the pandemic happened, right? Like, I thought I was going to end up in a boot camp and
boot camp.
Yeah, like I thought that was going to happen to me, and I was devastated. I was like making the run, to another country. And now what they're saying again is, the talk again is that they're presenting it like we are going to go into another lockdown with full no travel again. Yeah. So that's the word on the street for October. Yeah. So by like November 27th, we'll be in full lockdown. No flights for sure December. Like, again, that's kind of that's what I've heard. They're saying October, but I think they may not get the reaction that they're getting from this new variant soon enough. So they'll.
Oh my God. So many fucking variants.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 variants. Like.
Yeah. And did you get COVID? You got COVID or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a few times or no?
I got the shot and I still got it.
But how many times
I got 2 shots.
Yeah, but how many times did you get COVID?
I think twice. It's like, why the fuck did I put this in my body? I will never put another vaccine in my body again.
No.
Ever.
No. And I think that I'm hoping that that's the consensus for others who maybe just went along with it for, like, the goodness of, believing in wanting to stay united and help keep other people safe, because it was presented like that, right?
Yeah, that was the whole idea. No, it's not about you, it's about the community.
Yeah, like, I'm the asshole because, luckily I have no friends and I have no family here.
Yeah.
So the fact that I didn't get vaccinated was not going to affect me. You know what I mean? All I had to deal with was my kids coming back and forth every other week with COVID or a snotty cold, and my immune system getting fired up like every other week.
Did you actually get COVID though?
No.
What?
I probably had it.
But you probably were like,
so
they call it asymptomatic or something.
I'll tell you my scenario. So when last spring in, like, I don't know, March or April, my ex got COVID. And I went and stayed at his place and took care of him for like 3 days when he had COVID. And the one night I came home, like, I kept going back and forth. And the one night I came home and I got a fever that night and I had the chills. And I had all my girlfriends come over the following day because I was getting Botox. So I had like all my chicks coming over to my house and we were like doing this Botox party. And yeah, I felt like a bag of shit, but I only had a bit of a fever. Like, I felt cold and I was tired, and that was and my body was sore, and that was it. And I tested myself and it came back negative. And then I tested myself like I think 2 other times, and that was no, I only tested myself twice, and that was it during it. That time it should have came back positive, but like my symptoms literally were 24 hours of having a fever, and
So it only lasted one day.
one day.
Interesting.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, I think I got.
And I was like swap and spit. Like it was like there was no like it wasn't just like, like we made out, we had sex. It was like it was a full,
Full concoction.
it was a full concoction of like all
K.
saliva that
With
could
K.
possibly be, spewed in Amanda was in me. So I had like full COVID contact, and I came out with it with
A
that.
full COVID treatment.
full
Yeah,
COVID
I had the
treatment.
full COVID treatment.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you say you have it, right? You
Yeah,
got
I had
No.
it for like 4 days.
No,
Yeah.
that's pretty much like me.
Yeah, and then honestly, I mean, it wasn't as bad as what. I mean, I remember I had headache and was sore and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, it was kind of just like a flu.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was that's all it really was just a flu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, some people did die from it, but again, there's so.
It
See,
was
this
it was
is-
deadly.
This is the thing: is that
It was
yes,
deadly.
it was deadly, but
Mhm.
also if you would have had the flu and you would have had diabetes, or you would have had heart attacks, or you would have had other underlying
Yeah, of course.
conditions. I mean, it's so fascinating. The news when they say, "Oh, there was 60 death cases today in the hospital."
Mhm.
Okay, great. There's 60. Well, not great, but 60 people died. Okay,
Yeah.
did they have diabetes?
Yeah.
Did
well,
they have other health conditions?
this is-
Did they
this-
have what else? What I mean, okay,
So-
what is their medical background?
great point, Craig, because that how they made those counts for COVID, every single person, didn't matter what they were in the hospital dying
Oh yeah,
of.
and you get run by a car.
You got run over by
Yeah.
a car.
Yeah.
You have, cancer. It doesn't matter what it is. If you caught COVID while in the hospital, your death was COVID.
Yeah.
You got marked as a COVID death.
Yeah, see.
Like, I want to know, okay, like, where are they incinerating all these people? And like, why are our graveyards still like, how do we even have land,
Expensive.
to bury all these people? And like, even
Yeah.
if you don't get a whole casket, you just get some ash and a plot, that's a lot of people. Like there's just, I'm sorry, there's just something
Well,
a
like,
little bit.
just put me on the barbecue,
Yeah, I'm going
Just
for
burn
the barbecue.
burn me, put me on the barbecue and marinate some T-bone steak.
I'm going for the barbecue version
I-
myself.
I have a friend that used to work at a funeral home.
Yeah.
Preparing the bodies.
Yeah.
And he told me that one of the debts that you cannot escape is when you die, somebody has to pay for the funeral, for the whole thing. They don't. If somebody die and they has no family or no will or whatever, they will bill the government.
Yes.
And the government will find any relative alive of you, and they will get the money from you. So, it doesn't matter if it's your uncle that you never seen and he died, he will get and chase the money away from you. That's like a student debt.
Huh. I haven't heard that because my dad did have to pay for his wife's funeral when she passed away. And I feel like the government stepped in and like took care of it. Now I'm kind of lucky because we have a close family friend in
That could be it.
that, well, they own a funeral home in Oshawa where I,
That's a good business.
yeah, right, especially now. And yeah, and so they helped him set it all up, and I think that they billed it to the government. So I think,
Yeah.
there is like, because my dad, didn't have money to do it, so he ended up having to bill it to the government, and they paid for everything. Yeah. So, but here's a little hack. Just bury them in your backyard. Yeah.
Topsoil.
Yeah, you just bury them in your backyard,
Yeah.
and then the government can never take your land because it's a burial site for a family member. It's not illegal.
It's
Hmm.
not.
Apparently not. At least not in the States.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I saw a video of a woman in the state or a guy or somebody in the States saying like, did you know that
Oh, Lucho's looking it up
yeah,
now.
so let's look it up. So apparently
Go on your phone,
you can bury. I'm kind of thinking
this is going to be blue check mark verified
I have
by Lucho.
some people I want to bury, but I'm certainly not going to be putting them in my backyard.
Okay. Let's see what the
Consumer Protection of BC says about this.
Consumer Protection of BC.
Consumer protection.
I love how we're looking this up right on the spot. This is
well,
great.
I'm kind of curious, because I did read it. It
What time is it, by
it
the
was
way?
something in the States.
Well, it's 12:06.
You need to get a certificate of public interest.
Okay, so people need to agree, like your neighbors.
You need to get a license.
A license to bury a dead person in your backyard. As if they're gonna approve that. I'm just a big fan of fucking do it and deal with the problems later. Just.
Oh, I didn't know this basement suite wasn't supposed to be in this house. Sorry, guys, it's here.
Yeah. So I did hear that. So it's fascinating. It's got to be true somewhere in the States. Because I saw the video of it. I haven't researched it, but I will research it.
Yeah, of course you will.
Yeah. So anyhow, just to kind of, we'll let Lucho dig a little deeper on that one. But, just quickly back here to BC and, our fires, what we have going on here. Our heart goes out to you guys in Kelowna and Lytton and everywhere. It's just like devastation. If there's anything that people can do to help, just put it out there on Instagram, make it public so that we can do what we can, put together packages, ship it. I believe they've closed down the roads now, so we don't have any travel allowed.
It's illegal to travel there now.
It's illegal.
So we actually got a property.
You were saying
there, and it's about 1 kilometer away from the fire. So,
do you have anything on the property?
There is a house there, yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, but I mean it's one of those things that it is what it is.
So it's coming down you guys are like close to the water then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's pretty much the only places it hasn't hit yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll be testing out our insurance to see how it works. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that classifies as an act of God.
Yeah. The only thing that isn't covered for some insurance plans are earthquake, where it's like optional. But I think
I have earthquake. I have everything.
Yeah.
I have every natural.
Well, you are the earthquake.
I am the earthquake. I have like every natural disaster. I'm like, no hurricane. Put a fucking hurricane on that bitch.
Yeah.
I am insured for everything.
Yeah. This was such a fun episode today. I really loved it, but just kind of.
Oh, hold on. Just to cut you off and be rude.
Don't you dare.
So I think it was 1852.
How long are you going to point at me for?
1852. I'm like a pointer. 1852, I think, was the last hurricane that California has had, and now they are apparently having a hurricane. So anything is possible because this isn't what we think it is. When you have weather modification, that's a reality.
Yeah.
And we have natural disasters.
So, I mean, honestly, to kind of get close to wrapping this up, guys.
Yeah.
We got a really fun second season that we're going to be bringing to you guys.
Lots.
We got lots of great stuff. We're getting really intricate and trying to get creative with, where we're going and what we're doing and how we're impacting. Today's episode was really entertaining, really fun, really engaging. Our lovely Amanda, she came out and she was machine gunning, we love it, right? That's just what we love. But it's also about impacting and really giving back to you guys. So I really am excited for what's to come, and the On Location, I'm really pumped for that. Just working through the back end stuff of that is, it's a lot of work.
I think we gotta slow down the topics on each podcast because I cannot look that up that fast.
Yeah. Okay. We'll slow down the topics. We're gonna do a few things different, just to keep it entertaining and not so, possibly like a push. We wanna come on and have good hot topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here, because I'm the hot one.
The hot topic. Craig. Okay, Craig, give us a quick.
No dick pics.
No, I don't want any. I have an arsenal. So let's wrap this up for today. And Lucho, it was nice to have you on. We're gonna get a visual of you on here one of these days.
Once that I shave.
Yeah, once you shave.
I think you're gonna look like a baby
shave.
though. Yeah, you'll look like a baby.
You're just gonna trim it up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, well, it was awesome being here with you guys. It's been a minute, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace out, guys.